What if you could make your enemies disappear? Not with a fight, not with an argument, but with a simple shift in the words you use every day. Think about it. The boss who seems to have it out for you, the colleague who undermines your work, the friend whose advice always feels like a jab. These people feel like enemies, creating a battlefield out of your daily life. It feels like you're constantly under attack, a perpetual victim in a world that seems set against you. But what if I told you those enemies are phantoms? Ghosts that you yourself are summoning with the words you speak every day. This isn't some new age mantra. It's a 2,000-year-old secret from the ancient Stoics. They knew that our reality isn't shaped by events, but by our judgments about them. And your words are the tools that forge those judgments. By eliminating just 5 seemingly harmless phrases from your vocabulary, you can dissolve the conflicts that define your life. Your enemies won't just retreat, they will vanish, because you'll realize they were never really there to begin with. Today we're going to expose these 5 phrases for the saboteurs they are and replace them with the disciplined, powerful language of a Stoic. This isn't about changing other people, it's about unlocking a power you already possess, a power to reshape your reality one word at a time. Let's start with one of the most destructive phrases in your vocabulary. It's not my fault. When a project misses its deadline, the thought is, it's your boss's unrealistic expectations, not your procrastination. When an argument blows up with your partner, it's them being unreasonable, not your own poor listening. This phrase feels like a shield, but it actually poisons your potential. The moment you say those words, you hand over all your power. You become a passive object, a ship without a rudder, tossed around by circumstances. The Stoics taught that true power lies in taking total ownership of what's in your control. Epictetus, a man born a slave who became a great philosopher, built his entire philosophy on this one idea, the dichotomy of control. There are things you control, your thoughts, your judgments, your actions, and things you don't. Everything else. Blaming others is a fool's game. It's an obsession with what's outside your control. The wise person ignores the external and masters the internal. The next time you make a mistake, stop pointing fingers. Walk into your boss's office and say, I made a mistake on this report. Here's what happened, and here's how I'm going to fix it. Take ownership. In that moment, you stop being a victim and become the agent of the solution. Your tyrant boss is less likely to yell. They'll see someone accountable. The enemy transforms into an ally, not because they changed, but because you stopped deflecting. Swap blame for responsibility and reclaim your power. Stop being the person things happen to and become the person who makes things happen. Next up is a sneaky one many of us use. They made me angry. Your partner's comment made you angry. A driver cutting you off made your blood boil. A colleague taking credit for your idea made you furious. Listen to that language. You're admitting you're a puppet and other people are pulling your emotional strings. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus gave a stark warning. Any person who is capable of angering you becomes your master. When you say someone made you angry, you're admitting that someone else has more control over your inner peace than you do. The Stoics taught that your emotions don't come from events, but from your judgments about them. The rude driver didn't inject anger into your veins. Your judgment that you were disrespected is what created the anger. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, saw anger not as a righteous force, but as a sign of weakness. He wrote, the best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. To meet provocation with rage is to let your enemy win by dragging you down to their level. So stop giving your power away. When your partner makes a critical comment, pause instead of exploding. Ask yourself, is this true? What's the rational way to respond? Realize your anger is your own creation, a fire you're feeding with your own judgments. By choosing not to feed it, the fire goes out. Fights become discussions. You'll stop seeing an adversary and start seeing a partner. You eliminate another enemy simply by refusing to create one in your own mind. The third phrase is the victim's anthem. I'm just unlucky. If a friend gets a promotion, it was luck. If you get a flat tire, it was just your bad luck. This paints life as a lottery where you always draw the losing ticket because it's easier than admitting a lack of preparation or effort. Declaring yourself unlucky is a subtle way of giving up. It lets you off the hook. Why try harder if the universe has already decided you'll lose? This mindset creates a state of learned helplessness, where every obstacle is just more proof that you're cursed. The Stoics had a radically different take, amor fati, or a love of fate. This doesn't mean you passively accept your lot. It means you embrace reality, all of it, as the raw material for practicing virtue. You shift from, why is this happening to me, to what can I do with this? The flat tire isn't bad luck. It's a chance to practice patience and problem solving. A wise person is like a fire. It turns every obstacle thrown into it into more fuel. Hardship becomes a training ground. As Seneca wrote, a person who has never been tested by misfortune can't know their own powers. Instead of complaining about bad luck, start asking, hey, how can I use this? A difficult project isn't a curse. It's a chance to build new skills. Stop waiting for luck and start creating your own momentum. The world isn't a casino rigged against you. It's a gymnasium designed to make you stronger. This next one is a prison you build for yourself. I can't do this. This is the knee-jerk reaction to any real challenge. A complex new software system? I can't do this. Asked to lead a project? I can't handle that. These words are a declaration of surrender before the fight even starts. They shut down all possibility. It's the sign of a fixed mindset, the belief that your capabilities are set in stone. The Stoics would call it a failure of reason. Stoicism teaches radical self-reliance, not arrogance, but a deep trust in your ability to reason, learn, and endure. The Stoic approach isn't to look at a mountain and say, I can't climb that. It's to look at the mountain and ask, where do I put my foot first? The Stoics believed in breaking problems down. As Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you can endure anything a human being is meant to endure. Your only duty is to focus on the immediate task with dignity. Reframe the phrase. Instead of, I can't do this, start asking, what's the very first step I can take? You can't master the new software in a day, but you can watch the first tutorial. You can't organize the whole project at once, but you can send one email. Masha, no matter how small, is the antidote to despair. It builds momentum. Each small I can chips away at the giant I can't. The impossible task isn't defeated in one heroic leap. It's dismantled piece by piece. And finally, the ghost that haunts every great opportunity. What if I fail? This question kills your chances. You think about applying for a better job, but the ghost whispers, what if they reject you? You want to share an idea, but it cautions, what if they think it's stupid? This question isn't really about failure. It's about your fear of what other people will think. It places your worth in the hands of others, in the outcome, the applause, the acceptance. You become a slave to the crowd's judgment. Your critics and competitors become monsters because you have given their opinions the power to define you. The Stoics offer a liberating alternative, detached from outcomes. Your job is to focus only on what you control, your intention and your effort. The result is external, and therefore it's nothing to you. Whether you get the to him isn't fully in your control. But whether you prepare diligently and present your best self, that is. For a Stoic, success isn't winning, it's playing your part to the best of your ability. Apply for that better job, not desperately hoping to get it, but with the focused goal of putting in your best effort. The outcome is secondary. The enemy, the hiring manager, the other applicants, disappears because you're no longer competing with them. You're only competing with the person you were yesterday, the one who was too afraid to even try. Failure is no longer a verdict on your worth. It's just data. The only true failure is the failure to act with courage. These 5 phrases, it's not my fault, they made me angry, I'm just unlucky, I can't do this, and what if I fail, are the building blocks of a victim mindset. They create a world overflowing with blame, reactivity, and fear. So be honest with yourself. Which of these phrases has a hold on you? Which one is your go-to? Acknowledging it is the first act of strength. Let me know in the comments below which phrase you are going to eliminate from your life starting today. Your enemies, the tyrant boss, the critical partner, the condescending friends, were never real. They were ghosts you created with your own words. By blaming others, you created culprits. By surrendering to anger, you created masters. By lamenting your luck, you built a universe rigged against you. By doubting your ability, you made obstacles insurmountable. And by fearing failure, you put judges everywhere. When you change your language, you change your reality. You take your power back. The Stoic path teaches us that strength isn't about controlling the world outside of you. It's about mastering the world within you. And that inner world is built one thought and one word at a time. Stop speaking the language of the victim. Start speaking the language of the Stoic, the language of responsibility, reason, courage, and action. Do this and watch as your enemies, one by one, simply disappear.